boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to voice your opinion, all you got to do is leave us a message by using that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. We'll receive your message instantly. And if it's good enough, you might even hear it on air. All right, let's get into it. Texas basketball has a huge matchup this afternoon, as they get ready to chase the dream of making the NCAA tournament. It is not something that we've had conversations about this. Let's just say that. We have been kind of frustrated with the way that this basketball team has kind of gone. We heard from Rodney Terry talking about the grind of the SEC and everything that goes into it. And of course, we've had some high notes and we've had some low notes into the season. But none of that matters at this point. Whatever has gone on prior to today, all of it matters now.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity, and we'll get into some of these automatic bids that have already taken place in some of these other conferences. But we talked about March, leading up to March. What is March going to look like? It's here. It's here, Mark Henry. This is the time for Texas basketball to put up or shut up, and a lot of people are hopeful that they come in and put up.
Well, we handled them with kid gloves this whole season.
We did.
We've been respectful.
Yep.
I've questioned my own integrity at times talking about the team. Early in the year, I didn't see toughness. Then they started being tough.
Yep.
I said, okay, they're working their way into it. Then I didn't see them being a cohesive unit, relying on the point guard to make the rest of the players better. Players hustling and diving out of bounds. Then all of a sudden, Kaluma and Shedrick, they start doing everything that was needed to do. And they won some games. And they lost some tight ones. But there have been times, Hardge, where they just don't live up to Texas standard.
Right.
And I didn't say anything. And I felt like I questioned my integrity as I wouldn't consider myself a journalist. I would consider myself as somebody with an official opinion.
You gave yourself the title.
I gave myself my own title.
Okay.
And because of my understanding and knowledge of sports, they're not doing it.
Yep.
And one singular great player is not going to win. Michael Jordan was the best player in the world until he assembled the team with Steve Kerr and Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Bill Winnington and Purdue and all of those guys that knew their role,
right,
play as a cohesive unit, and they kicked everybody's butt.
Yep.
That's what Texas is not doing. They're not a cohesive unit. And it's going to be hard for them to win. And I told you, asked me first thing, you didn't even say, hey,
yeah.
Go to hell, Mark, nothing. Texas going to win tonight. And what I tell you?
You said you didn't think so.
I said, no, I don't think so.
No.
Because the history of this season has told me they don't work as a cohesive unit.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to play together. The teams that play together, Coach Terry always talk about playing together, playing for your brother, and living up to expectation, and all of these things. They're not doing it.
Well, the last time they played Vanderbilt, I was actually at that game with my family. We took a trip to Nashville, and Texas got out to a lead at halftime. They were up 39-35. They looked like they were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden in the second half, their main players that you normally didn't think of, Jalen Carey, went nuts. He played 28 minutes in that game, had 18 points, 14 rebounds. A lot of those rebounds were offensive, And it just looked like they wanted it a lot more at that time. It was a frustrating loss for the Texas basketball team at that time. But you have to look at this. They do have the ability to score. Hopefully, Kaluma is going to be able to add a little piece to what's been going on. Caden Shedrick actually played a great game that game. He was getting putbacks. He was hustling up and down the floor. He had 4 blocks in that game. So I'm hopeful that he can go out there and play. But the X factor for me is going to be Kendall Weaver. Kendall Weaver is back. Rodney Terry played him the other day just to get him back on the floor. But I think now you take I'm not even going to call them training wheels. This is all systems go. This is something that they have to get done. This is a win and a must-win situation. We've talked about that. Trey Johnson, I don't see him going 0 for 14 again. I just think that was just one of those games because he was 7 of 7 from the free throw line. He still had some assists. He did play some defense, and he had some boards. So he didn't make a basket, and if they make a couple baskets here and there, they win that game against Oklahoma. Now they end up losing. Now their backs are absolutely against the wall. But my question for you is, for this team to go out and play, they have to win quite a few games. Their journey is not easy. The SEC tournament kicks off today at noon. South Carolina, the 16 seed, beat Texas, will take on Arkansas, followed by Texas, the 13 seed, taking on the number 12 seed, Vanderbilt at 2:30. But the winner of the Texas game plays Texas A&M. And I heard Craig Way talk about this the other day. Texas can beat Texas A&M. They have done that. But they have to beat Vanderbilt first. And there is no next game until you play this one. And I do believe that Texas can come out and win this game. Is it going to be tough? Absolutely. The game is being played in Nashville. It's a home game for Vanderbilt. There are going to be a lot of students there. There's going to be a lot of people at that game rooting against the University of Texas. But I think Texas is a team that has been in this situation before. They have been able to go into a tournament as underdogs and come out by winning a few games. Now, my biggest question is, how many games is enough games for Texas to get into the tournament?
Hardge, they're gonna have to live the movie life.
What's that?
You remember the movies? You've been to a movie, a sports movie.
Is this gonna be Hoosiers?
They were okay.
Is this gonna be above the rim? What they gonna do?
They might have to carve out a new path.
Is it gonna be Texas Wesleyan? Is that what it's gonna be? It's gonna be Texas Wesleyan.
A little bit of that.
There you go. Glory Road.
A little Glory Road.
Okay.
Where you played okay.
Yep.
But you didn't win. You had struggle. You had compromise with your coach. You had issues.
Yeah.
But something happened, and everybody came together and said, "Guys, we can't lose again."
Mm-hmm.
And they win tonight, and they end up winning the SEC tournament. Now you have something. Now you have a story to tell.
Yep.
And Texas, if they can do that, that's a very, very long way from what I saw and heard on Saturday.
Well, hopefully we can look at it and say, all right, Texas, this is your opportunity to kind of silence the critics, give yourself an opportunity to be able to create a new journey, a new path for yourself. It is important for them to not listen to what's going on with us.
Right.
Block us out.
Especially me.
Leave Mark out of there. But go in there and play for one another. This may be your final game together, and there is nothing that you have left in the tank after this game. Go out there and play your eyes out, play your heart out, play your guts out, all those cliches that you want to say.
I never heard eyes, but
they're gonna have to be looking.
They're gonna have to be blind. They're
gonna be playing like Stevie.
Where's the ball?
They're gonna have to play like Stevie. So Texas tips off today, 2:30, after that first game between South Carolina and I forgot who else they were playing. Oh, South Carolina, Arkansas. When we come back, we're gonna talk a lot about the NFL free agency. We're going to hear from Ross Tucker. And why is it taking the Cowboys and the Bengals so long to sign their superstars? We'll talk about it right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
The Craig Way Show with Craig Way.
Tex Schramm, you'd hear him on with Brad Sham when we had the show and I was the producer for it, called Ask Tex Schramm. This was like 1987. Football, Cardinals were moving to Arizona. Brad Sham is doing the show. And so he asked him, he said, well, does that mean also now there'll be a change that the Atlanta Falcons would move from the NFC West to the NFC East? The Texas response was, well, once you're on an airplane, what difference does it make?
Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Our iHeartRadio Music Awards are coming back Monday, March 17th on Fox.
Celebrating the music and artists you've loved on iHeartRadio over the past year and giving you an exclusive first look at the biggest new songs coming in the summer of 25.
Bad Bunny, Billie Eilish,
Glorilla, Gracie Abrams,
Kenny Chesney,
Money Long,
Nelly.
your host, LL Cool J.
Watch live on Fox Monday, March 17th, starting at 7 p.m.
And listen on iHeartRadio stations across America and the free iHeart app.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A stalled vehicle has the right lane blocked off on I-35 northbound at William Cannon Drive as threes and speeds are stop and go starting from Onion Creek Parkway, causing a 25-minute slowdown. There's also a new accident on McKinney Falls Parkway at D. Gabriel Collins Road and cleanup for an ongoing accident on Far West Boulevard at Wood Hollow Drive. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Shop Mattress Firm's Upgrade Your Sleep sale. See a sleep expert and get matched with your perfect bed so you sleep better at night. You'll even get 120 nights to love it or your money back. Restrictions apply.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $500,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet, will always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today by calling 844-844-iHeart. That's 844-844-iHeart.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Time to hit the streets, y'all. Join thousands of runners and walkers at the Statesman Cap 10K on Sunday, April 6th. Celebrate 48 years of running tradition at Texas's largest 10K. Don't wait. Sign up today at cap10k.com.
March is here, and it's time for tip-off. Are you ready for wall-to-wall basketball? Specs has got you covered. With a huge selection of handcrafted brews, canned cocktails, and top-shelf spirits, Specs is the perfect assist for your game day celebration. Take a time out and feed the fans with Specs sweet and salty gourmet snacks. It's time to crash the boards, and Specs is your sixth man. Specs, the fun starts here.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. Collection calls, sleepless nights. If you're feeling overwhelmed with no way out, DebtBlue is here for you.
I don't have the words to express how much and how grateful I am for DebtBlue.
DebtBlue uses little-known programs most credit card companies won't tell you about. They'll help you consolidate or settle your debts for a fraction of what you owe.
DebtBlue saved me lots of money.
With DebtBlue's Success Guarantee, you pay nothing unless your debt is reduced or completely resolved. So there's There's absolutely no risk. See how easy it is to get started with free information. There are no upfront costs. So let DebtBlue show you how 10 minutes could save you thousands. Stress relief from debt is one phone call away. 800-375-1158. That's 800-375-1158.
Thank you, JetBlue.
Call for your free information now. 800-375-1158. 800-375-1158.
What's up, everyone? It's Greg Rosenthal, and I'm teaming up with the king of spring, Daniel Jeremiah. He requires me to say that. We're going to be bringing you 40s and Free Agents, the only podcast you'll need this NFL draft season. From DJ's mock drafts to my top 101 free agents, we'll have it covered for you with all new episodes every Thursday, keeping you up to date as we head to the NFL draft. Listen to 40s and Free Agents on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow 40s and Free Agents and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
The Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Mike Hardball, Hardge, and of course, the world's strongest man.
That's right.
The Mark Henry. Free agency has been wild and crazy, to say the least. You've got to see some of the stars stay at home. You've seen guys get released and then picked up by other teams. You've seen trades happen. This is probably, correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably the most active free agency that we have seen in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been years since it was this wild.
I mean, it has changed the way the game is viewed. And I want to start in Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills. Obviously, we talk about Josh Allen getting his new 6-year deal, $250 million fully guaranteed. But the deal is actually worth $330 million. So you start to think about that, Mark. And then you look at some of the players that are on this team. You look and you say, well, what are they going to do to help him out? Well, they went out and got Josh Palmer. He agreed to a 3-year, $36 million contract with $18 million of it guaranteed. They re-signed an extension with Shakur, wide receiver as well. Mac Hollins is gone. I didn't think he was that effective to the team anyway. But then they go out yesterday and they let Von Miller go. And now they have Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa signs a 1-year deal worth $12.6 million with $12 million of it guaranteed, and it has a max value of $15.6 million.
Hired gun.
Right. So you let one outstanding pass rusher go, which, in all fairness, he's struggled as far as getting sacks and tackles. I remember at one point there was a stat that was out there last year that dude didn't even have any tackles in a game. I'm like, how is Von Miller not getting tackles in a game? So now we start to look at that, and that is a team that we believe, well, we've talked about it before, they've been able to control the AFC East. Then you go to Miami, and you say, what did they do? How have they done anything? The only thing that they've done is got Zach Wilson to sign a 1-year deal. They don't have big-name wide receivers. They let some guys go. I still think that's going to be okay for him. You talk about the New England Patriots, and you start to see what they were able to do with the new coaching staff, new player. They've done some things. Mac Hollins went there, that wide receiver, the dude that walks around with no shoes on, no shirt.
He's grounded.
Yeah, he's grounded because my man is walking around. He reminds me of, and you appreciate this. He walks around like Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Oh man, yeah.
Got no shirts on, walking around, just hair just flowing, and not even caring that it's 30 below outside. Dude's out there with no shoes on, man. We're like, what is going on? Becoming one with the earth.
He cut different.
Yeah, he is definitely cut different. Then you look at the Jets. They signed Justin Fields. We'll see how that plays out. I don't know if that's good or bad. Good. I don't know if it's good or bad. Then you go to the AFC North and you see that DeAndre Hopkins, who have left the new Kansas City Chiefs, and now he is on the team with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. And Zay Flowers.
And he's a good blocker.
And he is not afraid to put his helmet on somebody. So you start to look at that. What do you think of the Cincinnati Bengals? They brought back.
I try not to.
Samaje Perine. T. Higgins got the non-exclusive franchise tag for the second straight year. So we'll see what ends up happening to him. They brought in they re-signed Joseph Osai, Texas Longhorn,
yep.
So he's back in the mix. Move. And they signed a offensive lineman, Cody Ford. They re-signed him, excuse me. And so now you have to say, all right, what are you going to do for Joe Burrow to make sure his offensive line is good? So now, Mark, you get ready for the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns, they trade for Kenny Pickett. So what? And then they bring back Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, who said, I'm gone.
I'm out.
Until they said, how much money?
How much?
$40 million. Guaranteed as per season.
You know what, man? I love the way that the sky looks gray all year long. Just love it.
And then, bang, here you go. The Steelers get DK Metcalf. We'll see what ends up happening with that. The story is right now that Aaron Rodgers is all but headed to Pittsburgh. So what does that do for Russ? Justin's gone. Justin found a home quickly. What is Russ going to do? Is it in Russ we trust? Don't think so. Start to look around. The Houston Texans, they went out and got C.J. Gardner along with a 2026 sixth-round pick in a trade with the Eagles for offensive guard Kenyon Green and a fifth-round pick.
Kenyon Green came from A&M, right?
Yes. What are they going to do to block for C.J. Stroud? Think about it. Their whole offensive line is gone.
Their and the people they brought in are run blockers. Kenyon Green, he made his hay by mauling people and pushing people backward.
But Green is the one he left to go to the Eagles. So they brought in C.J. Gardner as a defensive back. So all the moves, they brought in Christian Kirk, they made a couple moves, but every move that has been significant is on the defensive side of the ball. So it is wild to me when you start to think about what's going on. Then you look at the Indianapolis Colts. They signed Daniel Jones to come in and compete with AR5, Anthony Richardson. He signed a one-year deal for $14 million with $6 million bonus signing bonus and 7.1 for the salary as the base salary for one season. They did pick up some defensive backs, Charvarius Ward and Cameron Bynum, two guys that are very important for the success of that team. But you still look at it. So I'll get into the Cowboys in just a second, but I want you to hear from Ross Tucker. I want you to hear what Ross Tucker had to say about the Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals, two teams that are waiting way too long to sign their superstars.
Two thoughts on this. Number one, it's the second time in the last few years the Browns have had to way overpay to either get or maintain a star player, Deshaun Watson, Myles Garrett, and more importantly, the Bengals and the Cowboys. What are you guys doing? Why are you waiting? Now they just have to pay Jamar Chase and Micah Parsons way more money than they would have had to if they had signed him before the Max Crosby or Myles Garrett deals. Unfortunately for Bengals and Cowboys fans, your teams, your front offices don't appear to really know what they're doing, and there's really no logic as to why.
You know, the funny thing is, it appears your front offices don't know what they're doing, and we don't know why. You're right. We don't know why. But we can take a guess. They think that they got everything figured out. We're going to be able to re-sign Kevontae Turpin. We're going to re-sign our deep snapper.
What's the deep snapper's name?
Trent Sieg.
Oh, my God.
Hey, it's Trent Sieg. And then you sit there and you go out and you know what? We're gonna do better on the ground. We're going to ground and pound. We're going to go get Javonte Williams. What?
He's not bad.
He ain't good.
But he ain't good.
As they like to say, he ain't good.
He ain't bad, but he ain't good.
It's just one of those things that the Cowboys continue to have us guessing on what moves are being made. You look at the Eagles, we talked about the Commanders and what they've been able to do. It seems like everybody is going out and making moves to bring in integral pieces. I'm not saying wholesale changes, but they are making moves to increase their
value
chances
and their chance to win.
Exactly. And the Cowboys continue to sit back and look
Lean
crazy
against the wall and look at everybody.
Talking about, man,
look what they're doing.
You think she's going to come over here and talk to me? No, because you know why? There's other dudes that are out there being aggressive to go and holler at her, and you trying to play it cool on the wall because this is how we work. This is how we make things
in the shadow.
Work. That's right. We sit in the dark. We sit in the dark. Coming up next, somebody that doesn't sit in the dark. That's our guy, Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman. He'll be joining us next to talk all things Longhorns right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
The stalled vehicle on I-35 northbound at William Cannon Drive has been taken care of, but there is still some residual backup through the area starting from Onion Creek Parkway. And a couple crashes are still being worked on this morning. The first on Far West Boulevard at Wood Hollow Drive, and the second on McKinney Falls Parkway at D. Gabriel Collins Road. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at NissanUSA.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 five-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
My name is Kyle Tequila, host of the shocking new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Kenny was a Chicago firefighter who lived a secret double life as a mafia hitman.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything. He was a crazy man.
He was my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Listen to Crook County on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Crook County to start listening.
Hi, it's me, your USPS Ground Advantage shipment. Just left the warehouse and hitting the road.
I know. Just got the notification.
Great. Smooth sailing so far. I'm almost there.
Yes, I know. I get all the updates.
Made it. Safe and sound.
I know.
Well, did you know I was with USPS the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Keep your business in the know with USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit USPS.com/in-the-know.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you ain't worried, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
GiveMeTheVin.com wants to buy your car, whether it's your daily driver, pickup, SUV, exotic, or classic. Now we're even better with the GiveMeTheVin.com big cash giveaway. Win $25,000 in cash every month to sell us your car to increase your odds of winning. No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
The Spurs fall to the Kings despite 25 points from Stephon Castle. Rangers continue spring training play against Royals today. College hoops, Longhorns take on Oklahoma. Texas A&M battles LSU in the regular season finales. On the ice, the Stars face off with the Oilers tonight. Yankees ace Garrett Cole undergoing tests on his throwing elbow due to discomfort a year after an injury sidelined him for the first half of last season. I'm Trey Bender.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Cedar Park Overhead Doors.
Cedar Park Overhead Doors prides themselves on their integrity and honesty. The best garage door repairs at real prices with same-day service and a lifetime warranty on all spring replacements. For the best owners, best price, and best service, visit Cedar Park Overhead Doors at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
This is your home for the Round Rock Express, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. It is Wednesday, so that can only mean one thing. We are joined by our guy, Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman. You can follow him at _Danny Davis. And Danny, you made that trip to watch the Texas women play, and they had a good week up until that final game, and then it just looked like they may have run out of gas. What was your takeaway from the end of the SEC women's tournament? You can hear it, we can't hear it. We're going to end up having to call Danny back here in just a minute. We got to figure out why we can't hear him right now. But the Texas women was able to go out and get a huge win in a situation to lead into the championship game. And then, like what you were talking about, we started having that conversation, Mark, about what the expectations were, how this all started, and where they were trying to go in this tournament. You didn't know if they were trying to win it or were they trying to rest, but when you're playing for a championship, you got to show up.
You got to show up. And I don't think that it was a question of trying to rest or not trying to do. I think it was a question of it's hard to emotionally get up.
Right.
That many times the way that they did when Texas women's team got up.
Right.
They had to play LSU. They had to play all these teams in the SEC. And South Carolina is a monster. We know who they are.
Right.
We know who Don Staley is.
Right.
And it was hard to really get up again for that game. And Texas went in there and, we didn't get to see it because we were at baseball. And I got to see the clips later on in the replay. And it just looked like they didn't have the energy.
They were trying.
They didn't look like the normal Texas women's team.
Well, news came out the other day that Rory Harmon was is named semifinalist for the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year award. And we've talked about what Rory has been able to do with this team offensively and defensively. She's been able to pick up players from 94 feet and be able to stay locked in. She averages 2.2 steals per game for the Longhorns and has 269 career steals. She's a big-time player, and what's going to end up happening is she's going to be able to make some moves in the future that is going to help this team get deep into this tournament.
Yeah, I don't think that the issue was with her. I always joke around with Danny about Rory not scoring, but Rory was pulling up from 15 feet, 10 feet, hitting jump shots.
Right.
So, she did an incredible job with not just playing defense, which is her normal forte, but keeping the team afloat.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it is going to be a challenge for this team as they try to find ways to get it done.
Right.
But you know as well as I do, once these things start to happen, this team has to rally around each other. This is a great team. This is a team that has been number one for most of the season. They've gone through all the battles. I'm not worried about this team. What I was worried about was being able to get rest. Right. And now this team is in a position where they can
You're
get
not
the
going to
rest.
get the rest.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Don Staley's teams.
Right.
They attack, and then they rest for about 2 minutes, and then they attack you again.
Right.
Texas mentality is not that. That's the norm for them.
Correct.
Texas is like, listen, we're going to beat you.
Right.
And they get up for the game, and they do it. But you can't get up like that all the time if that's not your norm.
Right.
And, I always joke with Danny about Rory not scoring and so forth. Rory was awesome.
Yep.
Kyla Oldacre was not in the game as much. I don't know why. I like to see.
Well, I'm sure it has something to do with some fouls and not being called. And again, you got to remember, South Carolina likes to run. Yeah. They like to get up and down the floor.
And we'll take you out of your game.
Yeah, they had to, because that was the purpose of the move. They remember what happened last game against Texas here when you were up in the box with my kinfolk, Ira. I saw him yesterday. He told me to tell you hello.
VY.
Yeah, VY. But you watch that game and you say, all right, what can they do differently? And it was all about the balance when you start to look at minutes played in a game. What more can you do? And where is the moment for you? We talked about Trey Johnson and the fact of what he wasn't able to do in the last game at home. Well, Shea Holly, who is normally a glue girl, she was 0 for 7 and 0 for 4 from three-point land. So that's just something that's out of the norm for her.
Yeah,
she
didn't know
does her part,
I didn't know what the issue was. Was it the intensifying of the defense, or she was just off?
Right.
Because sometimes shooters are off.
No doubt. And we've seen that happen. And so for me, this team is going to be just fine. They get the chance to rest, recuperate, and get refocused. They'll find out where they're going to be. I think they're going to be hosting, I would think, immediately. They're going to be one of the 4 teams that get a chance to host a regional. I know that they're going to pack that place. We're going to be excited to be in there because it's a special, special squad. But there's still a lot that goes down with this basketball season when it comes to the Texas women as they get ready for the upcoming NCAA tournament. I believe that just like in every other sport, in this SEC, there's going to be a lot of teams that will be represented from the SEC in the tournament. So you would hope that we get a chance to get a good draw and see what side of the bracket you're going to be on, because I believe what Craig Way was talking about, Craig Way Show, 2 to 5 right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Shout out to Andrew Zimmel, who's been filling in for Craig because Craig is on his journey. This time
all over the world.
Exactly. He'll be on the call this afternoon for Texas basketball right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. He had talked about how the bracket looked like it was setting up, and it might be Texas on the same side of the bracket as South Carolina once again. Hopefully not, but we shall see. When we come back, we're going to effort Danny Davis again and see what his thoughts are and how he expects to see all this shake out. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Baseball season is here, and the Round Rock Express are ready to take the field. Hear all the action right here on 1300 The Zone. Whether you're at home or on the road, stay connected with Round Rock Express Baseball live on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Double trouble this morning on I-35 going southbound, trying to get into downtown, starting things off. An accident, I-35 southbound at McNeil Road has you backed up from FM 1431, a 25-minute delay. And once you get past that accident, a second accident also on I-35 going southbound at Grand Avenue Parkway has you backed up from Highway 45. I'm Jason Fostick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
PPD Austin is looking for healthy adults to participate in research studies. It's simple. Volunteers are paid for their time and can work online or attend classes during their stay. Average study pays around $450 per night. If you're a healthy adult and interested, contact PPD Austin today to find out how you might qualify. What will you do with the compensation you earn at PPD? Learn more at meandppd.com. meandppd.com.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today. Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, principal partner. CordellCordell.com.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
The comfort of your favorite seat is now also your comfy car-selling throne thanks to Carvana.
That's nice.
Just enter your license plate or VIN and get a real offer in seconds.
There's no place like home.
Visit Carvana to sell your car from your comfy place.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
A happy place comes in many colors. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. During our spring sales event, get 10% off any home painting project, $2,500 or more. When you schedule before May 15th at participating locations, get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
The new iHeart app.
This is the one app you need.
Love my presets. The preset feature is dynamite. Love it.
And I've been telling all my friends about it. They're on the app.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. It's the Craig Way Show with Craig Way and Cameron Parker. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff as we try to hear Danny Davis again. Danny, are you there? Danny, can we hear you? All right, we're just going to try to get him at another time. Right now, we're going to talk a little bit of Texas baseball at this particular moment. Texas baseball last night had a big matchup as the UT Arlington baseball team came in for a big matchup, midweek matchup, final game of the homestand for the Texas Longhorns. And Texas walks away with the victory 7-4. It was a little shaky for a little bit during that time, Mark, and they went with a different pitch. Texas started a different pitcher than Jace Flores, who had been starting pretty much every Tuesday since the beginning of the season. But they were able to go out with Drew Rarick, the big South Dakota pitcher, came out and was able to, was it South Dakota or North Dakota? One of the Dakotas, but he was able to go out there, establish his fastball, had a decent breaking ball, and then he was relieved by Jason Flores, Hudson Hamilton, Bryce Navarre, who ended up getting the win, and the game was finished off by Thomas Burns. Texas opened the scoring in the second inning and was able to jump out 1-0, but in the top of the first, UTA came back and scored a run right away. Texas comes back, scores 2 in the bottom of the 5th. UTA comes back and scores 2 in the top of the 6th, tie the game 3-3. But Texas opens it up in the 8th inning by scoring 4 in the bottom of the 8th. UTA came back and scored 1 in the 9th, but it was not enough as Thomas Burns comes in and gets the save. It was an exciting time because there was a ton of people that were there, man. It was kind of crazy when you think about it.
How many pitchers did they go through?
Texas?
Yeah.
Texas went through 5 pitchers.
Is that common for, I told you, I love baseball, but I've been out of the game for a minute.
Yep.
Like, is that common in the college game? Because you don't usually see that many in pros.
Well, it is on a Tuesday night, a midweek game. You want to get some guys that probably didn't get work over the weekend.
Okay.
You want to get those guys some reps during the week so they can be ready on the back end of the weekend. UT Arlington, they went out there and they started a dude that played at Texas first. And then he transferred and went over there, and they pitched 7 guys last night.
Wow.
So, yeah, they were running guys out inning after inning, and they did a great job. Let's be honest about it. You start to look at some of the midweek games, and for Texas, it was important for them to get the win, most importantly, as they get ready to go into SEC play. But I want you to hear the call from last night. Roger Wallace and Keith Moreland with the final call to end the ball game.
The 3-2 swung on, hit pretty well to center field, but Gasparino will make the catch, and the Longhorns have won their 14th straight ball game, off to their best start in 20 years. UTA scores a run in the ninth. They leave a couple, and the Texas Longhorns get the 7-4 win thanks to a 4-run bottom of the 8th inning.
What a big triple in the bottom of the 8th inning for a big triple by Ethan Mendoza, the leadoff guy. He came up in a situation that you normally would bunt in, try to get guys over. Coach Schloss loves his barrel to baseball action that he has. He uses the whole field, and he gets a triple down the right field line to drive in the go-ahead and winning run as Texas walks away with the victory.
You and I sat together, and he hit the ball like right down the line on the right side. And I asked you, I said, well, is that typically where he hits? And what did you tell me? He hits it everywhere.
He does. He's the prototypical leadoff guy where he can go out there and set the table for you and get it set up for all the guys behind him. He's leading the team with a .423 batting average. He's doing what he needs to do at this particular point in the season. As you heard, Texas have won 14 straight games.
Right.
Best start since 2005. That's a big year because that was the year that Texas won the national championship. But you can't get too far ahead. Now the SEC starts this weekend, and that's where the real work begins.
So does it play to an advantage to the player to be able to hit it in multiple areas of the field?
Absolutely.
Because the defense can't key.
That's right.
And slide everybody toward.
And you saw that a lot. There's some guys that just come up. They play them to play dead pull. There's some guys that come up. They play them straight up. They'll shade to one side, left or right. It is something to think about for sure. But I want you to hear Coach Schlossnagle in his postgame talking about what's next.
You know, certain times of the year, you're going to have a ball game like this, and you hadn't had one that your team had to rally. It really wasn't a rally, but you're playing into the 8th inning in a tie game.
Yeah, it's good for us. We're trying to get through the game without trying not to use Burns, trying not to use any of the guys who've been doing the bulk of the pitching for us, and we were able to do it. Also, trying to save Galvan. He's been a little bit banged up. He's fine, but was trying to get through Sunday's game and today's game without him. So that's why we did the things we did there. But I was proud of Navarre through strikes. We played really good defense.
Yes, you did.
I mean, we played good defense in the outfield. Bryce made an awesome play there. So, yeah, I mean, for as bad as we were defensively a couple weeks ago, tonight we won it with defense.
Well, the other part of that is you're wanting to look at those freshman pitchers.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah, they did a nice job. Drew did great. If he doesn't balk the guys, he's fine. Flores out of the bullpen wasn't as crisp as he was as a starter, but that's the experience we wanted him to get. Hamilton did okay, and I think Bryce did awesome. He certainly used the ballpark.
Well, the other part of that is your outfielders. That's for the last one. You said great defense, but there was some really nice running catches.
Yeah, really nice, and that's the strength of our team. Especially when it's Farmer, Gasparino, and Max out there. So outfield defense vastly underrated.
And you're getting used to this ballpark, sir. It can play big.
It does. It plays big for sure. And I'm certainly thankful for that tonight.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Keith.
Wow, that sounds good. When your coach say, "Man, we play good defense,"
that's what it's all about.
Wow,
you got to be able to play defense to win these ball games. You can't always slug your way to a championship. You got to be able to stop some people. And when the innings try to get too big, you got to find a way to shut them down. And that's what they were able to do with some great defense. When we come back, we'll be in hour number 2, and the conversations will continue. March Madness updates. We'll hear from Coach Sark. We'll have the world's strongest take. And, of course, we'll talk Texas basketball right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Hi, this is Tom McKay with Audiovisual Consultations. Today's home electronics can be a bit daunting. My company has spent the last 36 years making sure they are not. For those of you who have not experienced our services yet, we'd like to invite you to give us a try for all your home electronics needs. We carry all the major brands of televisions and stereo equipment at prices you can't find in stores. And we come to you. There's no need to leave your home to find great pricing and incomparable service. No traffic, inexperienced sales geeks, or pushy showroom tactics. We believe in having some fun and dreaming big. Do you have a dream for your home entertainment? Let us know. We can make it come true. And we are always there to help after the job is done. We cultivate clients for a lifetime by treating everyone like their family. No, not those family members. I'm talking about the ones you actually like. So relax, hug your kids, make love to your wife, and smile. Then, when you have a moment, give us a call at 255-8678. That's 512-255-8678 or online at avconsultations.com.
Join us in honoring those who served by giving back. Whether it's volunteering, donating, or simply sharing our story, you can make a difference. Together, we're restoring independence, dignity, and hope for Americans' heroes. Visit phhusa.org today to learn how you can get involved. Purple Heart Homes, honoring service, building hope, one home at a time.
Ready to drive to the hoop? Pull up to Onion Creek Volkswagen, where our deals are nothing but net. Whether you want to slam dunk on a new Jetta or go downtown with a pre-owned Tiguan, we'll call the perfect play for you. Visit Onion Creek Volkswagen today and score big with our unbeatable offers. Don't miss your shot. Visit us at Onion Creek Volkswagen, where every deal is a buzzer beater. Onion Creek Volkswagen, Austin's most valuable dealership.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Go to effecti.com for more details.
Did you lose weight? What's your secret? Okay, so you've heard about GLP-1 weight loss medications like Ozempic, right? Well, I found this company called Effecti. They're 100% online, and they help people get access to those weight loss medications. Sounds great, but aren't they expensive? Not with Effecti. They have compounded semaglutide with the same active ingredient as Ozempic or Wegovy, starting at 85% less. Plus, I got a few months of medication up front and saved over $500. I want to try Effecti. Send them a text.
Text SHRINK to 200-300 to get started with Effecti and see if you're eligible to get access to weight loss medications like Ozempic or compounded semaglutide, which starts at 85% less. Plus, Effecti is 100% online and ships right to your door. Don't wait. Text SHRINK to 200-300 and find out how you can save over $500 when you get weight loss medication biannually. Text right now and get an extra $50 off. Text SHRINK to 200-300. Shrink to 200-300.
When it comes to making fantasy picks on your favorite players, you want excitement, but you also want a platform you can trust. Better Picks is available in over 30 states, so if you're hearing this, it's probably available for you.
Better Picks is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just pick more or less on your favorite player stats and put your skills to the test.
With Better Picks, you get the thrill of playing for up to 2,000 times your cash. So go ahead. Make your picks and play for big wins with super fast payouts and withdrawals.
Go to betterpicks.com, BETRpicks.com, or download Better on the app or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to play for up to 2,000 times your cash. Plus, new users get up to a $200 match on their first deposit and join thousands playing across the U.S.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff. It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Texas men's basketball tips off today against Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament. Tip-off is at 2:30. You can hear the game right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We talked NFL free agency. A lot of teams making some moves that are enhancing what they already have, but right now we are not, as a Dallas Cowboy fans. The Crypt Keeper has not made moves that seem to be significant enough, but as always, We just going to roll with the punches. And we just talked about the Texas Longhorn baseball team, who is off to the best start in 20 years, as they are now 14-1 and finished out the homestand undefeated. And now they get ready for SEC play this weekend, Mark, as they take on Mississippi State. We'll hear from Coach Jim Schlossnagle hopefully tomorrow. We can get these phone situations taken care of at 8 o'clock, so make sure you don't want to miss that. But right now, Mark, March Madness is all about these tournaments. It is automatic bid time. There's tournaments that are taking place as we speak. There are some that have already started and finished. And there's a list of teams that are already in the NCAA tournament. Out of the Atlantic Sun, Lipscomb. That's right, Lipscomb. The stuff on your lip. The scum on your lip.
Oh, stop it. You know what? Like, a lot of these teams are not doing well right now until their tournaments start.
Oh.
Have you seen all the losses?
Oh, yeah, but does that mean that there is some hope for the future in the way that things can happen? We're not going to talk about it just yet. Here
we go.
Yeah, give us a chance, bro. Just give us a chance.
No, but I find that in the there's a lot of people missing work. There's a lot of people that's going to miss work because these games are going to get played at 1 o'clock and in the middle of the day. And I told you I was late to a show before because I was watching the game and I had to see the finish.
Yeah.
But the thing is the tournament hadn't started yet. So this in-between time, and people already know we punched our ticket. We already got the lock.
Yep.
We're in. Those teams tend to go, I'm just going to rest this one out. And they lose. It's not interesting basketball until the conference tournament starts.
Right now.
Which is today.
Right.
And all of those games are over with. So what do you think about that? Do you think that they should just say, look, we're in, we're going to play the bench?
No. Again, you're playing a tournament championship. You're playing for a championship. And if somebody told you, Mark, we're playing in a championship, don't worry about it, you'd be like, what? You going out there to win. You want to be recognized as a champion, whether it is the tournament champion, as Texas has done before, to be able to get into the NCAA tournament. You got to look at it that way. Teams like Lipscomb, who just punched their ticket, they're 25-9 by winning the A-Sun. Big South, High Point, 29-5. They had to win to get into the tournament because some of these tournaments just have automatic bids. You're not an at-large team because you're playing in there. So, yes, you need to win your tournament. Coastal Athletic Conference, University of North Carolina, Wilmington, 27-7, getting into the tournament. Horizon League, Robert Morris, 25-8. You look at the Missouri Valley, and this is the team that I've been having a lot of conversations with my son, Drake. Drake is 30-3, and they use all D2 and D3 players to go and win that conference. So that goes to show you have an opportunity to win these types of games. In the Northeast Conference, St. Francis won their tournament. You know what their record was, Mark? 15-17. 15-17.
A losing record?
And that is why you play the games, bro. That is why I said you got to go out there because these types of conferences, the only way that you get into the tournament is to win the tournament. You can win the regular season. That's great. But that don't guarantee you that you're getting into the NCAA tournament. You have to go out and win these types of tournament. You look at the Ohio Valley, South Indiana University at Evansville, 22-11. They play some decent basketball there. Wofford went on and beat Furman. Furman was talking trash, talking about their we're a team that won 25 games. We're a team, nobody's talking about us. Nobody's talking about us. Well, you know why nobody's talking about you? Because you lost, coach.
Because you lost.
Exactly. So now they won the Southern Conference, Wofford did, and they're in the tournament with a 19-15 record. So those are the types of teams that you pull for because of the craziness and the zaniness of their conference. You look at the Sun Belt Conference. I was watching this game. One of my buddies from my high school, his son is on the team from Troy. They're 23-10 and they made the tournament because they won the Sun Belt Conference, the Summit Conference in the Midwest. Omaha wins their conference tournament 22-12. They're in.
Those aren't bad records, though.
They're not bad records, but it's some of those teams that you need to be paying attention to for March Madness. Drake is 30-3. 30-3 on the season. And that's not a chump league in the Missouri Valley.
No.
You talked about it before. You were late to your show because Northern Iowa beat Texas on that day.
Northern
and guess where they were
was
from?
good.
Yeah.
Them guys could
Missouri
score.
Valley. Team that could go in there and get buckets. Guys that have nothing to lose. They're not
Please
supposed to
tell
be
me
on
we're
that
not
team.
playing them again.
Well, we got to get in the tournament first. We got to get in
Well,
the
that's
tournament
true,
first.
too.
And then, of course, you get the West Coast Conference. Gonzaga, a team that every year people are trying to figure out how do they do it out there in Spokane, Washington. They make it happen. 25-8. St. Mary's is a team that may
Sister Jean.
St. Mary's is a team that might get into the tournament because of their conference record. St. Mary's is a team you don't want to play. Yes, Gonzaga beat them, but St. Mary's is always in the mix when you start to look at it. So my point of running down all these names and all these teams that are getting into the tournament, you start to look at them. These are teams you're going to need to pay attention to, but it does show you that Texas has an opportunity to go into this conference tournament with a clean slate. All this stuff doesn't matter, as we talked about in the very beginning. Everything now is all about what you do when you get into the tournament and what is your capabilities once you're in. I believe Texas is going to show up today. I know that you kind of hesitant on it, but you look at this tournament, and today is a big day in the tournament. As I said, 16 takes on number 9. South Carolina takes on Arkansas. Texas follows that game against Vanderbilt, followed by LSU and Mississippi State. And the nightcap tonight is number 14, Oklahoma. And when I say these seedings, this isn't the ranking. This is the seeding in the tournament. So when you're hearing me say these numbers, don't lose your mind and think, oh, my God, what is he talking about? So you look at it right here. So the nightcap tonight is Oklahoma versus Georgia. Then tomorrow, if Texas is able to win the game, they will play again at 2:30. This 2:30 time slot is important for the Texas Longhorn fans because Texas will play at 2:30 today. After they get this victory, because I said they're going to win today, they will play at 2:30 again tomorrow against Texas A&M. And the winner of that game will play the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, the gauntlet is set in front of you. What type of team are you going to be? Are you going to be a team that is coming out to fight to the finish, or you already mailed it in and you're thinking about next year? Because, listen, I'm going to be 100% honest.
Be 100.
Some of these kids, some of these players, this may be your last basketball game.
This is it.
You got to go out there and show out because the opportunities are going to get smaller as we move on. There's going to be some changes as far as Trey Johnson going to the league, because somebody asked me the other day, you think Trey will come back? I'm like, for what?
For what?
For what? The dude was just named AP SEC Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year, excuse me, and he's done some unbelievable things at this university. So what more do you want from this young man? There's nothing else you can get from him. So it is important for them to understand that this young man has done some amazing things, but now it's on to the next, Mark. You got to be ready to go. And Trey Johnson this team is going to go how Trey goes.
You know what? If I was Trey, I wouldn't try to be Superman, but I would do my best to leave my mark. If this is going to be my last game, I want the University of Texas Nation to go, bro.
Right.
That dude went out with 50. That guy had a triple-double. That guy, they're going to talk about me.
Right.
Trey went up for a layup. They went under him. He got up and punched somebody. He missed the last half because he got ejected. You got to go and make a statement.
Right.
Basically.
Yep.
Trey is going to have to go out there and be remembered as not just a player of the SEC, but what in the Longhorn Nation are we going to remember about him other than that?
Yeah, he's going to have to go out there and show out. I think he's done a lot for this university. Now his biggest challenge and his team's biggest challenge is to get by Vanderbilt. And it's FYI, my guy Nick just hit me up. He said Drake has beat Vandy and K-State with D2 and D3 players.
Wow.
So if you can hoop, you can hoop. And if you can coach, you can coach. And that young man has shown that he can coach at Drake. So it's been real impressive to see what they've been able to do. But like as I said before, this is the time for Texas Longhorn basketball to show up. So let's get it popping. All right, check this out. When we come back, we're going to talk some football. Coach Sark, that's right, Coach Sark. He talked to the media, and we're going to let you hear some more of that conversation as well. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Show, weekdays at 2. Our iHeartRadio Music Awards are coming back Monday, March 17th on Fox.
Celebrating the music and artists you've loved on iHeartRadio over the past year and giving you an exclusive first look at the biggest new songs coming in the summer of 25.
Bad Bunny, Billie Eilish,
Glorilla, Gracie Abrams,
Kenny Chesney,
Money Long,
Nelly,
your host, LL Cool J.
Watch live on Fox Monday, March 17th, starting at 7 p.m.
And listen on iHeartRadio stations across America and the free iHeart app.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
All lanes are back open. Accident cleared on I-35 southbound at McNeil Road, but we had some substantial delays behind this accident that will take some time to get back to normal. There's also a 20-minute backup being caused by a new accident blocking off the two left lanes on the 130 Toll Road northbound at Pierce Lane. Delays start from FM 812. I'm Jason Bossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
March is here, and it's time for tip-off. Are you ready for wall-to-wall basketball? Specs has got you covered. With a huge selection of handcrafted brews, canned cocktails, and top-shelf spirits, Specs is the perfect assist for your game day celebration. Take a time out and feed the fans with Specs sweet and salty gourmet snacks. It's time to crash the boards, and Specs is your sixth man. Specs, the fun starts here.
Second opinions.
You get them with your health.
So why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
to schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Tickets are on sale now, y'all, for our 2025 iHeart Country Festival, presented by Capital One, happening Saturday, May 3rd at the Moody Center in Austin, Texas. Don't miss your chance to see country music's biggest superstars. Tickets are on sale now. Ticketmaster.com.
For 70 years, we've been known as the Humane Society of the United States. But as the challenges animals face have grown, so have we. We are now called Humane World for Animals. And with you on our side, we are going to end animal cruelty around the globe. Join us. Humane World for Animals. The end of animal cruelty.
Hey, it's big. Rob Schmidt recently beat CNN in key ratings as millions are tuning into Newsmax. Every night, Rob Schmidt is on Newsmax revealing the truth about Elon Musk's Doge. Tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern and find out why Rob is the hottest person in cable news. Even President Trump is watching, and he says Newsmax is terrific. Reuters Institute reports that Newsmax is now one of the top news brands in America. Find out why. Just check out Newsmax on your cable system. Get Rob Schmidt with Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and much more. Download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone or home TV to start watching. It takes just seconds. With Newsmax Plus, you can watch our great shows anytime. Go to newsmaxplus.com and start your free trial. That's newsmaxplus.com. Make the switch to Newsmax today.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 five-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $50,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
1300 The Zone is your home for the Round Rock Express.
Of course, it's a basketball season, and we're going to continue to talk March Madness as always. But right now, I want to go back to some time where Texas is getting ready for what Mark was hopeful of being a spring football game. But right now, it's all about spring practice, getting to know the new players, and continuing to build on what Coach Sark has built here on the 40 acres in such a short period of time. And everybody wanted to know, hey, what's going on with the spring game? But Coach Sark let us know what the practice schedule is going to be and when the players will start taking the field.
Like I said, we'll start March 25th. That's a Tuesday. We'll practice 3 days a week for 5 weeks, and that will not be every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. 3 of those weeks will be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. 2 of those weeks will alternate. Will be Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. But inevitably, it'll be the same outcome of getting those 15 practices in. All the while understanding us not having a spring game on the 26th. We'll have a practice that day, but have a real fan appreciation day. And we'll have some things centered around what we're doing as a football program. Obviously, baseball's got a big series that weekend with A&M. So there's some things that I know CDC and Drew Martin are working on to make that a special day for our fans. And we'll definitely do that.
Special day for the fans, Mark. Big baseball series across the street with Texas A&M. They're going to make sure that you're able to spend some time with your friends. You're going to be able to see some people, Mark. I know how excited you are about this.
Hardge, I want to see people do what they're going to be doing on every Saturday next year when football season starts. So it's hard. It's hard not to have a game situation, and I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with it, but I still want to see a wide receiver against a defensive back. I still want to see a linebacker get off a block and try to go make a tackle, and actually see somebody get tackled. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I hear you.
I need to see some football, some real football
being played. Well, what we can do is
I don't want to see the long jump. I want to see a combine.
We're gonna reach out to the coaching staff and see if we can get you over to a practice so you can quench your thirst, as we like to say, when it's time for you to go out there.
Because you saying that, hey, what you talking about is not what they gonna have.
That is not even close to what's going to happen during that time. He also got a chance to talk about what his December and January, for those that don't know, recruiting, playoffs, windows, portals, everything was going on. But Coach Sark and his staff had to figure out, listen, we got to make this work somehow, some way, because it is important to understand that in December and January, this was one of the wildest times that he's been a part of.
It was super fun. It was a nightmare. I'm glad they're changing the rule. Quite frankly, and I was an advocate for that. And we try in college football. You try. You don't know. There's so many things that are new. Like we said, I thought when they moved the mid-December high school signing date up to that first Wednesday, I thought was a nice move to do. Now, when you're us in Georgia and you have a game that Saturday in the SEC championship game and you've got signing date that Wednesday, I sure would have liked to have been watching third downs Tuesday night, but instead I was calling these 20 some odd guys, to make sure that they were signing the next morning. And so, but you hear CDC say it all the time. That's champagne problems. We earned the opportunity to play in the SEC championship game. So we're the two schools of the 16 that were playing Saturday, but still having to recruit that Tuesday night. Then that Monday following that game, they opened up the portal. And the challenge for us more than most schools, we didn't win the SEC championship game. So we had to get ready for a first round college football playoff game at home versus Clemson, which was, again, amazing environment. But I'm now re-recruiting my entire roster, all the while looking at potential transfers that could come in. And that bled its way all through December. And we had 9 guys, I think it was 9, decide to leave our team, one of which stuck around really for the entirety of the playoffs, 8 more gone. So how do you then incorporate some of these mid-year guys that signed in December to get them on our practice field so that we could practice the way we want to practice? And then to come back in January, play all the way through January 10th, and then try to go hit the road and go recruiting really that very next day to go do those things to get onto your 26s. And so challenging, but yet, man, it's like crying from a yacht, right? We're doing really good things. And I'd much rather be in the position we are in than a lot of other schools that were done playing in December and combing through the portal. The one thing that was probably the most challenging for us that probably doesn't get talked about was the 5-day window after our last game, because the portal opened in December and then closed. Well, that gave, you get to the semifinals, that gave 130 other schools a chance just to stare at the 4 teams rosters, knowing if they lose, their players have 5 days where they could still go in the portal. So I was recruiting our players all the way until January 16th to make sure that they were staying. Wasn't as hard as most people would think, but you never know. And people had a lot of money in this cycle. And they were trying to get ahead of the publicity sharing or the revenue rights. And so they were using a lot of NIL money, and they were throwing a lot of money at our guys. And I credit to our players for believing in what we do. But again, challenging, of course, but I wouldn't trade places with anybody, quite frankly.
Wow, I had no clue.
That's what I'm saying.
So we need to go talk to Coach Sark. You think we can get you think we get 15 minutes? I want to hear more about that. That was awesome.
Think about that, though. Think about what he had to do and his staff and the people that he had to put in place. And how are you attacking the portal and keeping guys and trying to call third down plays and goal line?
He got minus 5 days.
Yes. Yes.
Like you lose that time and it's gone.
Yep. Out of there.
Wow, that's incredible. So when he said that he had to go and re-recruit his own people and make sure that people were good because they were throwing money, I had no clue that you could even do that during the season.
That's what I kept saying. Like
they gotta fix this. You can't do this.
But you're not going to be able to control it because DMs are open. Phone calls are accessible. There are things that are happening.
No. What about the rules of engagement?
The rules of engagement is Mark Henry is making the call for somebody else.
Oh, man. Okay.
What I say before, the street agent, right? The street agent's out there. Some guy that's been around.
I'm sitting here tripping now.
Yeah. It's real. It happens all the time. Oh, man, you know as well as I do.
You should be starting.
Man, you better than that dude right there.
You better than him.
Why, man, I know somebody over at this school that already
How much
told
they paying
me.
him?
We can make that work. Oh, hey.
He getting 150?
Oh, man, we can.
Man, you 200
at least. Oh, come on, man. You selling yourself short. I see it. I see your potential. Your potential is better
All
over
you
there.
need is one.
Oh, man.
All you need is one
And I
believer.
got you. All you need is one mic.
Hey,
one mic.
I talked to the coach the other day.
Yeah.
He was telling me he needs you.
See? That's the thing.
Well, he didn't say specifically you,
but he
said
that.
he needed a wide receiver. He needs you.
And there it is. There it is. That's what
Unbelievable.
happens all the time. I do want to get to this, well, because it was a great question. What have you learned from the losses back-to-back years in the college playoffs?
I think a couple things. One, I thought I knew it a year ago, and now more than ever, I'm a firm believer in we almost have to play every guy on our team those first 4 games. Because you just don't know come game 15, 16, maybe game 17, if a guy's nicked up and a guy's getting counted on, that he needs to be ready to play. I mean, I look at Trevor Gooseby and the situations he got thrust into late in that season, where he was blocking A&M's front, he was blocking Georgia's front, he was blocking Clemson's front, Arizona State's front, and all of a sudden, did we give him enough experience early in the year to get ready for that? And so that's the first part to me, that, man, we've got to really do a good job early in this season of exposing our players to experience of playing football. The second part, that what happens in the playoff is there's never really a normal week like you have in the NFL, meaning one team, there's a bye that first week, and then you're really playing every 7 days, right? Up until Super Bowl week, where you have 2 weeks to prepare for the game. In our case, we had sometimes you have a really extended break depending on the bye, or you have about those 10-day windows in between where you really have time to dissect your opponent, and you really have time to look at tendencies, and you really have time to pour into a game plan and checks at the line of scrimmage, on offense and on defense, where opponents do too. And I thought that was something that showed up in the playoffs, where you could feel every game was almost like coming off of a bye. And so you had to be prepared for new looks, new things beyond what you would get on a normal week. And so making sure that we have enough on all 3 phases, and making sure that we're studying ourselves enough to where people could attack us. That is something that, one, you always want to be able to rely on the things you're good at, but yet making sure we've got enough creativity involved in there to take advantage of opponents' stuff too. And so that's a fine line. But again, it's a little bit different than the NFL playoffs, like I said, where it's 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. Ours is like these weird blocks. Sometimes it was 14, sometimes it was 10. It might have been 20 for a team. And so, man, you sure better have enough stuff going to take advantage of, but yet, of what they do, but also break some of your own tendencies along the way.
And that is why Texas has to get better. And Mark believes that's why they brought in a Neil Brown to kind of help that out. When we come back, we'll hear from the world's strongest man as he brings you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
The 2 left lanes remain blocked off by an accident on the 130 toll road northbound at Pierce Lane. It's the reason speeds are stop and go starting from FM 812, causing around a 15 to 20 minute delay. There's also reports of a new accident on the service road of I-35 going southbound at Slaughter Lane. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Keep Austin Beautiful.
Love Lady Bird Lake, Zilker Park, and your own neighborhood? Then keep this in mind. In Austin, 20% of what we send to the landfill is recyclable. Remember to recycle your plastic bottles and aluminum cans. Love ATX every day. A message from Keep Austin Beautiful, Niagara Cares, and iHeartRadio.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Do you ever find yourself scrolling through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, worse comments, hot takes, picture-perfect families, in yet another humbling professional update? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you feel if you spent just 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. Cameron Parker here, and let me tell you about Cerebral. At Cerebral, we make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part? Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable, and connects you with expert clinicians. Cerebral is also proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral. Make time for Mind Time.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, a red flag warning in place for your Wednesday afternoon. Morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, a high in the upper 80s. Tonight's low near 60. Thursday sunshine, a high in the low 90s.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
We know you're loving the new preset feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite new thing.
But did you know that you can make almost anything a preset? Your favorite local station, sure. But your favorite podcast, that amazing playlist you made for free, even iHeart stations you can't get on the radio, like Deep Cuts, The Vinyl Experience, and 70s and 80s Rock Ride.
That's a game changer.
Whatever you choose, it's as easy as a tap to make a preset. Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Catch every pitch with the Round Rock Express on 1300 The Zone. The run for a title continues for Texas women's basketball.
Shea Holly, a three-pointer good. Shea Holly knocks down the three, and the Longhorns go up by 10.
Catch all the action on our sister station.
You heard that beat drop because it can only mean one thing. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, D. Mark Henry, brings you the world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
Hardge.
What's up, man?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man, Marcus. Back then, they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me.
What they do?
They hot.
Ooh.
They hot. But I'm going to tell you, what's hotter than me is the Los Angeles, is the Baltimore Ravens.
What?
The Baltimore Ravens has devised a plan to make their offense unstoppable. That was not my words. Lamar Jackson wants to be unstoppable. They started it off, Hardge, by agreeing to a 3-year, $60 million deal with Ronnie Staley, the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
They went back and they realized that one of the most outstanding things in their repertoire was the fact that they had a fullback that blocked like a guard. And they made the move and they got Ricard signed. They said that they were going to upgrade their offensive line. They paid one that they had and they brought in another offensive guard for backup purposes. And they're gonna do everything they can to pick one of the top tackles that are coming out in this draft. They want to create an offense that they can rely on to support their defense. Good offense is the best defense in Lamar Jackson's eyes. I really think that I see his vision, because when he said that he wanted to create a offense that was virtually unstoppable, don't you think that offensive pieces other than the line play a factor in that?
Absolutely.
What did they do? They went out and got DeAndre Hopkins, pulled him away from the Chiefs. Remember, I told you that good strategy is making advancements by the process of subtraction from your competitors. DeAndre Hopkins really hurt the Ravens. They said, no, we're going to take that from you.
Right.
Give me that. We'll take that. Not to mention that people don't realize how big Hopkins is. Hopkins is 6'3", 217, 218-pound wide receiver. And he is a really good blocker at wide receiver. And, I love Flowers. But Flowers is a shade under 6 feet tall and like barely 180 pounds. I don't expect that guy to be in the secondary blocking people, safeties, and dropping corners. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, just shield them off, man. Right. Do the best you can. But Hopkins is a road grader. He's a guy that likes and embodies the fact that I want to put somebody on the ground. You know who I think they should go after? They should make a trade for Zay Jones.
Okay, so you getting people to trade, you getting people to
because what he's saying is he wants wide receivers that can go out and put people on the ground. You put one safety on the ground or one corner on the ground, and you rely on 2 or 3 other safeties or corners to go and tackle Derrick Henry. No, you need everybody. We need a pursuit to the ball. We can't tackle that dude one-on-one. You see what he does?
Right.
He embarrasses people.
He tries to anyway.
Man, like you can't even let your kids watch the game. Derrick Henry will pie-face you and put you on the ground. You'll be a Sports Center highlight. Da-da-da, da-da-da. So I see his vision. I feel like what he's saying is true. What say you?
Well, I mean, I understand his vision, but the thing is, he did get some help last year with the Derrick Henry. Yep. He had some players. Mark Andrews wasn't playing his best football last year. It was Isaiah Likely that was taking up most of those plays. Derrick Henry could have set the record being able to rush the football. And, it was just one of those things. But to me, and again, Lamar Jackson is one of the best players to ever play the game. He has been an MVP. He's been multiple-time MVP, could win it pretty much every year, if you want to be honest about it, because he's that talented. He should have won it this year because his numbers were even better than the year before. And it's kind of like basketball, like Joker. Joker's better this year than he's ever been. The numbers tell you that. But he's now going to lose to Shea Gilchrist-Alexander. But my point being, for Lamar Jackson to be that guy, they have to win a championship. That is where it is. He's talking about, he's saying the right things. But until he wins a championship, people are going to just look at him like they do everybody else. He's a great quarterback. He's an MVP, but he hadn't won a game. He hadn't won a championship yet.
If you're them, you're gonna pick in the team. Don't you want to move up early in the teams and get one of the top 2 tackles rather than wait around and hope somebody to fall?
Well, if you look at what other teams' needs are, it may fall right back to you.
Well,
it may, but to your point, if not, if you don't think so, then you got to make a move. But what are you going to give up? That's the other part, because you're going to try to build for more. We'll see. We'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick. Coming up next, we're going to also talk Texas basketball. Do or die, baby. And is LeBron James still hurt? Oh, yeah. He's going to be out for a while. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
For a title continues for Texas women's basketball.
Shea Holly, a three-pointer good. Shea Holly knocks down the 3 and the Longhorns go up by 10.
Catch all the action on our sister station.
Baseline in traffic, pulled it up. Reverse side and got it. What a move on the baseline for Leah Moore to go under the basket. Reverse side, got the bucket and won.
103.1, Austin's 80 station. Hook off.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
The 2 left lanes remain blocked off by an accident on the 130 toll road northbound at Pierce Lane. It's the reason speeds are stop and go starting from FM 812, causing around a 15 to 20 minute delay. There's also reports of a new accident on the service road of I-35 going southbound at Slaughter Lane. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by True Green.
We're back in the miller's yard, who now use True Green.
Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stop.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
Spring is here, and just like the games are heating up on the court, Cover Chevy and Hutto is bringing you unbeatable deals like 0% APR for 60 months on a 2025 Chevy Blazer EV and a 2025 Chevy Equinox EV. 2.9% APR on 72 months on a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500. $8,000 off MSRP on the 2025 Chevy Corvette, excluding Z06. See dealer for details. Cover Chevy has the perfect ride for you. Find them at Highway 79 in Hutto. HuddleChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, principal partner. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, it's big. Rob Schmidt recently beat CNN in key ratings as millions are tuning into Newsmax. Every night, Rob Schmidt is on Newsmax revealing the truth about Elon Musk's Doge. Tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern and find out why Rob is the hottest person in cable news. Even President Trump is watching, and he says Newsmax is terrific. Reuters Institute reports that Newsmax is now one of the top news brands in America. Find out why. Just check out Newsmax on your cable system. Get Rob Schmidt with Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and much more. Download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone or home TV to start watching. It takes just seconds. With Newsmax Plus, you can watch our great shows anytime. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com and start your free trial. That's NewsmaxPlus.com. Make the switch to Newsmax today.
This is Nolan Ryan for American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Home comfort is all about making wise decisions. One bad choice can follow you around for a long, long time. Don't strike out with a lesser brand. Choose American Standard. It's cool, it's clean, it's efficient, and easy on your wallet, too. Invest wisely. Invest in American Standard Air. Peace of mind is everything in this business. Comfort the way you like it. AmericanStandardAir.com.
Have you found your new favorite feature on the iHeartRadio app yet?
I have this go-to playlist. Boom, made it a preset.
It's like the only app you need.
The #1 radio app.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 five-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
March is here, and it's time for tip-off. Are you ready for wall-to-wall basketball? Specs has got you covered. With a huge selection of handcrafted brews, canned cocktails, and top-shelf spirits, Specs is the perfect assist for your game day celebration. Take a time out and feed the fans with Specs sweet and salty gourmet snacks. It's time to crash the boards, and Specs is your sixth man. Specs, the fun starts here.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
1300 The Zone is your home for the Round Rock Express.
Another great show right here on the morning kickoff.
Yep.
As always, we'll make sure that we get our phone situation figured out, because that way we can get Danny Davis and Joe Cook on this week, because I'm curious to their thoughts. We will supposedly have Eric Henry tomorrow. It all depends on what happens with this Texas basketball team. He is in Nashville, boots on the ground, and see what is going on with them. But I do want to talk about this before we get into basketball again, college basketball. I wanted to talk a little bit about LeBron James. LeBron James and his L.A. Lakers basketball team, Mark's favorite team in the world, and
That's
he
right.
believes that everything is going to go great and they're going to win the
win.
championship. They have a tough schedule ahead of them. They got some tough games that are in front of them, but the biggest question is about LeBron James. LeBron James is still dealing with that groin injury, and his agent, Rich Paul, talked a lot about that and what the expectations are.
He's had all put on hold for 1 to 2 weeks with a groin strain. What do you think this kind of ends up being for LeBron? And long term, how much does this slow down the development of the Lakers this season, do you think, Rich?
Well, I think you have to manage it. Obviously, you see the reports that's out there, and you're able to pay attention to LeBron in terms of his post-game interview. He knows his body better than anybody, so we kind of have to follow him there. But look, he's played a lot of basketball. All these guys, we forget the Olympics they played across our league. So there's been a lot of basketball played for the older guys. When you have this type of injury, you have to manage it properly. Unfortunately, AD had the same thing, a little bit different, and he even mentioned that, as soon as he did it, that's the first thing he thought about, or the second thing he thought about was that. So you have to manage it with grace. Obviously, the Lakers had a tough schedule coming up. I think they got 6 games in 8 nights or something like that, and they play some pretty top-heavy teams. They got the number 6 schedule, most difficult schedule to finish the season out. It's tough. Look, they have a lot of work to do regardless whether he was there or not, but you got to handle it with grace. And so I won't put a timetable on it. I'll let LeBron decide what's to be done there. He has a great trainer and medical staff with the Lakers, and Mike Mancini leads that for him. And so, I'll just be lockstep with those guys.
Gotta be.
Why is Pat McAfee asking Rich Paul anything? Rich Paul should have been like, "Hey man, I sign checks and I get deals done. I don't do basketball operation."
But
he shouldn't be asking. He shouldn't be talking at all.
But he got to talk to the people, because people want that.
No,
Mark.
you're wrong.
People want
You're
that,
wrong,
Mark.
Hardge.
You know that.
no,
And
and
people
no
want to
again.
know. And he answered it, though.
Be quiet.
He answered it, didn't he?
Sit down. Be humble.
Sit down.
Like,
Be
you
humble.
don't ask people in the office what's going on with
But
basketball.
he answered
I
it.
guarantee you know who cringed the most?
Who?
The coaches.
Did they?
I'm sure that the coaches like, hey, don't say anything.
You got to spread it, man.
You don't want your opponents that you have to face coming up in the next week.
They know. They know what's happening.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they know
it's
exactly
too much.
what's happening.
They like Micah Parsons on the
here
podcast.
you go, going after Micah again.
Hey, Micah, what do you think about your defensive line? Man, I wish they could draw double teams because, I mean, I always get picked up.
You need to leave Micah alone.
Why does he talk, though?
Because they ask him a question. If they ask you a question, are you answering it?
Hardge, you know how many times people ask me a
it?
question and they end up talking to my representative rather than me?
Oh, my goodness. Which one is it?
They talk to my representative.
Did they talk to Mark Henry or did they talk to
They trying to talk to me.
The Nation of Domination?
They end up talking to my representative. Well, at this time, Mark Henry cannot speak.
Okay.
But I will say, from a political standpoint,
there you go.
He will not answer that question.
I knew it was something.
That's what Michael Parsons has to grow up and learn to do. Because me as a guy in the locker room with him, I want to walk down to his locker, stand in his face and say that to my face. Say that we don't pick up blocks on us offensive line. Tell me that I dropped too many balls to my face. And then I'm going to punch him right in the mouth.
I'm sure
that
has happened.
Michael Parsons will beat up every wide receiver in the NFL. But you got to know you're a man first.
What he going to do?
He going to whoop all of them. DJ Metcalf might give him a run.
Maybe.
But I still think Michael Parsons will beat DJ Metcalf like a rug. That dude, did you see him in the offseason wrestling sumo?
I see him. He does it every year.
He's a monster.
He is serious about his craft.
But he knows that he is, and he knows that nobody's contesting him. He needs to be tried.
Yeah.
I think that he will respect them guys better if they go, Micah, like, if you talk about me, I'm going to punch you.
Right? I know.
Like, I'm a man. Like, stop talking about me.
But let me ask you this. Is what he's saying true or false?
A lot of what he's saying is true.
Okay.
But it's the locker room energy. Like, you can't walk on eggshells in your own house.
Yeah, that's true.
If I went to my house and said something inflammatory, my wife would look at me and go, who are you talking to?
Yeah. 100%.
And then it's a bad time. You don't want that energy.
Yep.
That's what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? Your face went relaxed when I said that. Because you understand.
Yeah.
And Michael Parsons is a 20-something-year-old guy that haven't fought those wars yet. And he doesn't know how to politic with the people that he worked with.
Well, who's going to tell him?
He got a lot of money, and it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell somebody with $100 million what to do.
Yeah, and he's about to get more.
But it's respect.
Agree.
Can we sit down? I want to call Michael. He used to text me.
Yeah, well, hey,
I want to talk to him and
since
say,
he likes to
brother
talk, see
to
if he
brother,
can get on there,
man to man.
See if he can get on with us.
Can you do one thing for me? I'll never ask you for nothing else. Let's do it.
Let's get. Hey, you know him. Call him. Let's get it popping.
That would be awesome call.
Yeah. Today, we're hoping to see that Texas gets it popping. They tip off at 2:30.
I need
you
that.
You can listen to it right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone with the great Craig Way. Our guy Cam Parker will be on the scene as well, along with Eddie Orrin. Hopeful that the Texas Longhorns men's basketball team can defeat Vanderbilt and get to the next round. The more wins, the more opportunity of being in the NCAA tournament, and hopefully they get things done. Tomorrow's show, make sure you tune in. We'll have Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. If Texas gets the win, he'll be flying back. And, of course, we'll have Texas baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle talking about the trip to Starkville, Mississippi, which kicks off SEC play in baseball. For Mark Henry, For our guy Marcus, I'm Mike Hardball Hardge. And just remember this. Don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
From providing extra support during busy seasons to replace vacant roles, you need Express Employment professionals on your team. Express can handle everything from contract placements to finding the right full-time team member. Go to